Hello, happy Friday. Welcome to TV Guide Live. I'm Mickey O'Connor, and with me today I have my colleagues Liz Raftery and Joyce Ang. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Today we're going to talk about Grey's Anatomy, everything we know so far about the new season. If you have any questions for us, please send them now at TV Guide on Twitter with the hashtag TVGLive or on Facebook in the comments below, and we'll answer them at the end of the show. We've got a lot to talk about, so let's get to it. So let's say up front, I don't regularly watch Grey's Anatomy. Joyce, you don't either, but we're very familiar with it through our jobs. Liz, you're our expert, right?
Yeah.
Let's put all the pressure on
if
Liz.
You can call it that, yeah.
So we're starting Lucky Season 13
Right.
in the fall.
Yeah.
And you had an interview recently that shed some light on what's going on there.
Yeah, I spoke to Kelly McCreary, who plays Maggie on Grey's, and she told me that season 13 is going to be focused on the originals.
And every time I see that...
It's not a crossover with the originals, unfortunately.
The blood bank gets broken into
Right.
vampires are set loose in the
That's the
hospital.
latest catastrophe, is a vampire comes to Grey Sloan.
Well, that's the one they haven't done.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, who knows? We can't rule anything out. But so it's going to be focused on the season 1 characters, which there are only 4 remaining now. It's Meredith, Alex, Bailey, and Richard Webber.
Right, okay.
Which is funny to me because, those are the only characters left over from season 1. But when I think original characters, I still think of, Arizona and even, April and Jackson now, because the show has been running for 13 seasons.
Right, yeah, they're veterans, too.
Yeah. But Kelly said that we're just going to kind of be delving into those characters and their plot lines and relationships.
Does that mean some originals who've left could come back?
I hope so. Yeah. I mean, I really think Alex and Joe's relationship is totally going to be on the rocks because you find out in the finale that she's actually already married and she has this abusive husband who's out there and apparently looking for her. So this is totally a ripe time for Izzy to come back into Alex's life.
Let's talk about that for a second. Is there any world in which that could ever happen?
No.
I think so.
But she has a better chance now because Tara Knight is going to be on the catch. So, and that's her BFF. IRL.
Oh, right, that's right, yeah.
So, so maybe the catch will be,
But she's on a show on CBS now.
Well, she's on Doubt, but I also think
that's mid-season.
I think the feud has been kind of buried. They're both talking about it now as, I think Katherine Heigl, the most recent thing she said is, I wish I would have just kept my mouth shut about Grey's. It's kind of bygones, it was however many years ago
But
at
is
this
it for
point.
Shonda Rhimes?
Yeah. Who knows? But I mean, that would be a ratings bonanza.
It was only a couple years ago where she said, on Scandal, there are no Heigls here.
Right. So, that's true.
I still think there's some residual.
She might wait until the final season of Grey's or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe she'll just kill her off screen.
But all right, so let's go down. Let's talk about the originals. We'll go character by character, and you tell us what's happening.
Okay.
Meredith.
So Meredith has sort of started this dalliance with Riggs, and Maggie says that, I don't know what to call it. It's not a relationship yet, but so Maggie confessed in the season 12 finale that she has feelings for Riggs, and she thinks that he's into her, and Meredith's face is kind of uh-oh.
Well, do we believe Maggie, or is this a sister, rivalry, junior high school thing?
No, Maggie's totally, she doesn't know about Meredith.
Wait, so which one is Riggs? Riggs is the guy who's played by...
He's the new McDreamy.
Martin Henderson.
Is that his name? Yeah, okay, all right.
Yeah. So he's a new doctor. He was kind of a jerk. He and Owen had this rivalry that they seem to have kind of been getting past.
Yeah.
He used to be involved with Owen's sister, who supposedly died, but
supposedly
I'm sure she's going to come back too. But yeah, so that's what's going on with Meredith. She's in this new sort of burgeoning relationship, and it's going to cause some drama for her and Maggie.
And as far as her having the sister is concerned, that's still a pretty new relationship too. I suppose it's all relative, but she's still sort of figuring out her relationship with her half-sister.
Yeah, I think so.
So this could be a huge problem.
Do you ship either one of them?
Oh yeah, which one do you think?
Yeah, who do you ship?
I would like to see Maggie have a relationship.
Has she not had one at all?
She had a little thing with DeLuca, but it never really turned into any. It kind of crashed and burned before it turned into anything. But yeah, I guess, I don't really ship either of them, I guess.
All right, let's move on to Alex.
So Alex, this is, the season 13 premiere is really going to focus on the aftermath of his big fight with DeLuca, because DeLuca and Joe were out, and Joe confesses to him that she's already married and
Yep.
everything, and then Alex walks in on them in a very compromising position, even though nothing was
Nothing was
actually
going
going on. But he kind of flies off the handle, and before either one of them can
Beats the
explain,
crap out of him.
beats the crap out of him. So, yeah, and then apparently, according to Kelly, that Alex's actions are going to cause some big tension between all of the doctors in the hospital in terms of like taking sides and whatnot. So that's going to cause some drama there.
He's always had a temper.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, so this is not like the first strike or anything.
Yeah, he really has.
But I think that generally speaking, like fans and you, like everyone thinks that Alex and Joe together is a good thing, right?
I think so.
Generally?
Yeah. Yeah, overall.
I mean, she's no Izzy, but
Right. And then Bailey and Richard Weber, I think Bailey and Ben will just continue to see the ups and downs of their marriage.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's happening with Weber, but I'm sure that something will
He's
crop
like
up.
the forgotten one.
Yeah, he really is. It's been a
Well,
while
what
since
was going on with him when we last saw him?
I mean, he's in this relationship with Catherine Avery.
Right.
He had a few really
That's Debbie Allen, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He had a really, this little arc where he was kind of playing Arizona's wingman, which I hope we'll get to see again because that was hilarious. Like, I would watch a spinoff with just them. And yeah, so we'll see what happens with that.
Okay, just a quick reminder, if you have any questions, you can tweet them to us at TV Guide with the hashtag TVG Live or on Facebook in the comments below. So let's see. So another big question after last season is about Sada Ramirez's character, Callie.
Yeah.
So tell us what happened at the end of last season.
So basically, her character was kind of weighing moving to New York to follow Penny, her new girlfriend.
Who was also the doctor who
Like,
Who
basically
killed Derek. Yeah, she
Derek
killed Derek.
died. Right, okay.
And at the end of the finale, Arizona gives Callie her blessing for her to go to New York and follow Penny, taking their daughter with her.
And they had this like super bitter custody battle, like an episode before. Too.
Yeah, yes. But, you know, it seems like all is forgiven, and Arizona's
So
basically
Callie took the
like,
baby.
well, she's like, we'll figure out the custody arrangement, but here's
Which
your
is
plane
really stupid
tickets to
because,
New York.
like, you know, the kid's gonna live like bi-coastal lives, going to like 2 different schools. Like,
Right.
what's happening?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, they'll figure out like
That's like a
weekends and
between
summers.
season
Yeah,
or
it's
problem.
something.
like we don't care about that.
That
Right
took
now.
care of
They,
it.
Grey's Anatomy does not care about the kids at all. Like, when's the
It's
last
true.
time we saw Meredith's kids?
Meredith's kids, yeah.
But yeah, so that's what's happening. But apparently, you know, for me watching that finale, I was still surprised when Sada Ramirez announced that she was leaving the show
Right.
because
Which was like right after the episode finished airing.
was
it? It was like, yeah, it was like
it was
right
a bit.
after.
I mean, a few.
But so what is it? So, you know, we've talked about this a little bit. It's difficult to say whether or not Sada Ramirez like wanted to leave or
My impression is that she wants to take like a season off.
Yeah.
You know, she just wants some time away from the show. I don't think there's any hard feelings
Yeah,
I mean,
there.
it
or
didn't
anything.
seem like
No.
it didn't seem like it when she left. But
Yeah.
So the question is, so is that it for her, or do you think that they're gonna
I don't think that we're
address
gonna.
it or deal with it in any way this season?
Yeah, I don't think that we're gonna see her this season.
Yeah.
I don't know that Callie's gonna get a proper send off aside from what we already have seen.
Right.
But yeah, I know that it's not addressed in the first episode because the first episode is totally dealing with this Alex and DeLuca stuff. So
They
that's
probably don't want to touch on it too much to like, because then if they do address it too much, then it seems like it's a hard goodbye, you know. But now like the door's still open, like she could just pop in and out
Right.
Yeah.
whenever she wants, you know.
And it's a convenient plot device because
Right.
if she and Penny break up, which
She could
is
just move back.
yeah, it could just be like, oh well,
Yeah.
I'm leaving New
Yeah,
York.
and I
now.
don't think it's not like a Katherine Heigl Shonda situation. Like I think Shonda loves her, and if you remember, Sada got on the show 10 years ago because ABC loved her in Spamalot.
Spamalot,
Yeah.
And then they
She
offered
won the Tony
yeah,
for
she
it,
won a
right?
Tony, and they offered her a role on any ABC show, any show, and she picked Grey's because that was her favorite show.
Ah.
Yeah, I mean,
don't think I knew
wouldn't be
that.
surprised if she like takes a year off, maybe goes back to Broadway or like theater or something,
Yeah,
and then goes back into it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then what
She'll come
remains?
back for a musical episode.
Yeah,
the second
God.
musical
The second musical
God
episode.
help us.
Something tells me they're never going to do this again, though.
But yeah, so then the question, you know, is where does that leave Arizona?
Right. So you mentioned the sort of wingman
Yeah, I mean,
Richard
I'm sure
Weber.
that we're gonna see, not that this is related to Cali since they are broken up and have been broken up, but I'm sure that we're gonna see Arizona, maybe get back into the dating game, maybe
Yeah.
have a proper relationship this season. Who knows? That's just all speculation on my part. We
Right.
don't really know what's happening with her character, but she's definitely still around, so.
Okay, so then the next question is, will Jackson and April get back together? So this is everyone's question. I'm looking at the questions that are coming in right now.
Yeah, I think the the little window is cracked open a little
Right.
bit for that to happen.
Like at the end of last season, there was hope. There was sort
yeah,
of a,
you see this like very Norman
Because of the
Rockwell
baby?
family
Because of
picture
the
of,
baby.
them together.
and
Yeah,
that always works.
Yeah.
yeah, oh
Baby
yeah,
fixes everything.
A
guys.
baby
Yes.
fixes everything.
Yeah.
So we'll obviously be seeing them co-parent this season,
Yeah.
and maybe that will.
Do you think that'll
Bring
bring
them
them
back
like more
together.
closure given what happened with their first baby, or do you think that will just like open more wounds?
I think so. I mean, it's, it would be a nice kind of full circle thing, given that the death of their first baby kind of drove them apart, and then maybe this can bring them back together.
Right.
Will they
So.
pick a name better than Samuel Norbert?
I hope so. I don't know.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Here.
So okay, yeah, and so what do you think? How do you think? Are they going to be good co-parents? Like, do you think that what if they don't get back together and they just have to raise this kid together? Because happy relationships are not good for TV, so like they're probably not going to be happy.
Yeah, it's.
forever.
I mean, I think that we'll like see that kind of winding road, and I think that Catherine's character as a grandmother is going to be really interesting. I can see some like clashes there.
Yeah.
But
Because she's always like in his business.
yeah,
Right.
pretty much. So we'll see what happens there.
Okay. Amelia and Owen. You want to talk about them?
Yeah, so they're married now.
Yeah.
Amelia's going to move out of the house, so it'll just be Maggie and Meredith living in the house, which is going to be great once this whole Riggs mess comes
Right.
to light.
But easy for sleepovers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think that Katerina Scorsone has said that we're going to be seeing the ups and downs of Amelia and Owen as they
Right.
try and navigate married life, and she's pregnant,
pregnant in real
real
life,
life,
right?
but it's not going to be written into the show.
Her first
No.
one wasn't written either.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we will probably be seeing a lot of like scandal-esque, like Amelia standing behind a couch
Right.
talking
Listen,
to
nothing
Owen.
will beat the lamps.
Lamps.
Okay?
Carrie
Yeah.
But it's
Washington,
easier
hello.
on like Grays because they just wear like really loose scrubs.
That's
and,
true,
Like
that's
they,
true.
just.
All right, let's look at some of the questions that are coming in because there's a lot coming through.
Okay.
A lot about April and Jackson, but I think that we talked about that a little bit, but let's see. What are your season 13 wishes? Kay on Twitter asks. What do
I
you
mean,
think?
I really want Izzy to come back,
You do?
or Sandra Oh to
Well,
come
okay,
back. If it is
oh.
about the originals, like let's
Or
bring
Ghost
some of them back.
McDreamy.
No, we
No
don't need any more
There's
ghosts
been
on the
enough
show.
ghosts on that
Period.
show.
Ever. So yeah, I
Kyle
think.
Chandler.
Oh, God.
Pink
And then we have
Mist.
musicals and then ghosts again.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
there you
I
go.
think that it would be great for one of them to come back, seeing as how Christina didn't even come back for Derek's funeral. Like, I'd like
Right.
to see her again.
Right, that's sort of like the boundaries of plausibility of
Yeah.
television. Like he didn't even come back for the funeral.
Yeah.
But who else? Who else could possibly come back? Everyone else is dead.
Yeah,
Their
that's
characters are dead.
that's true. I mean, yeah, I would like to.
I think Christina would be good.
Yeah.
Actually.
They
Yeah.
should bring back Brooke Hahn, given how they just like dropped her after like
Oh,
like
yeah.
5 episodes
Mm-hmm.
or something. They made her a regular and then they just dumped her.
Right.
Uh,
Brooke
We
Smith.
never really.
oh yeah,
Erica.
Erica Hahn.
Erica
yeah.
Hahn, Brooke Smith. Yeah, there we go.
Conflated my people.
But we never really got the whole story on that. Like it was just like it wasn't working. The chemistry
Yeah,
wasn't
and
there.
then they cast Jessica
Arizona,
Capshaw
yeah.
after that.
Yeah. Maybe if she came back, she and Arizona could get together, and that could be like a love triangle something. So.
Let's see. Lauren on Facebook asks, with Amelia moved out of Meredith's house, will we still see that great dynamic between the three sisters?
I think so. I mean, in speaking to Kelly, she said that, it's going to be different, but obviously they still have that bond.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that, Amelia and Meredith kind of made amends in the season 12 finale.
Yeah.
So I think that as Amelia's navigating this, not new relationship, but new marriage with Owen, maybe she'll turn to Meredith for some advice.
Yeah.
And I do wonder if Amelia will kind of feel like she's caught in the middle with this whole like Meredith and Maggie and
Yeah.
Riggs thing.
Also, if Sandra Oh comes back, that like how is Christina going to react to Owen and Amelia?
True. That could be another reason for her to come back.
Yeah, she's not coming back.
No,
Well,
I just don't think she
it's a
is.
wish list, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Carrie on Facebook asked, I know Katarina said they aren't writing her pregnancy into the show. Any chance she's just being sneaky and we'll see an Omelia baby? Owen and Amelia, I guess. Omelia.
Is that
Yeah.
their name?
It is now. I
Carrie
don't
just said
know.
it.
Yeah, it's an interesting point. Like I was kind of surprised when she specifically said that it wasn't going to be written into the show because that could be really easy for them to,
Like it would make sense if they had a baby.
Yeah, like
it'd be like a nice,
they're newlyweds, and
yeah.
it's like, oh, twist, we're going to be parents right away.
Right.
They probably can't keep track of all their babies they have written already. So.
Yeah. And the whole thing was that Owen wants kid. He really
Yeah.
wanted kids. That's what broke him and Christina up.
Right.
So, who knows?
LaShawn asks, can everything be a dream like on Dallas so that we can bring Derek back?
I don't think that's going to
I don't think
happen.
that's gonna
I
happen.
think Patrick Dempsey is the new Katherine Heigl, maybe.
Yeah, right. Not because of the narrative, but I
Yeah.
just don't think that that's going to ever happen.
Yeah.
Okay, Kay on Facebook asks, what catastrophic event is there left for them to explore?
Well,
Vampires.
Vampires,
It's going to be
yeah.
the Halloween episode,
Bank,
like
yeah.
the
The
first day of
originals.
Sweeps.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, let's think about all the things that they've had. They've had an active shooter in the hospital.
Superstorm,
Yeah,
plane
Superstorm.
crash.
A ferry crash.
Oh yeah, well
Was
yeah,
that
there
the
was
one
a
she
ferry.
drowned?
Yeah,
that was
and
when she
Meredith
drowned.
drowned.
The plane crash in the woods.
plane.
Yeah, the plane
crash.
crash in the woods.
I'm trying to remember the early ones.
Yeah, I mean, well, there was like the big superstorm, and someone got electrocuted after that. Yeah, the shooter. I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, it's been a lot.
There's been a lot, and I can't believe we can only think of like 6 of them. But yeah, vampires. I say bring it on.
Yeah.
So here's a question: When do you think that Grey's Anatomy should end?
Well,
Do you feel like?
Never.
no, I think that.
I mean, I think they've done a pretty good job of sort of, refreshing the show
Yeah.
over the years. I mean, they've had so many different cast members over the years,
And
but
a-
like,
And a lot of people were saying, once Patrick Dempsey is gone,
Yeah.
what's the point of you? Like, why didn't they end the show then? But it actually, in a weird twist, kind of like breathed new life into the show. Like, there's a whole new dynamic now,
Yeah.
and
It can go on forever, and Shonda has said like she doesn't envision like any end for it right now. Like she has always said Scandal, like she can't see it going past like 7 or 8 seasons. But
Right.
like Grey's can go on forever. It
Yeah.
could be like the new like Law and Order, like
Right.
SVU.
yeah. Well, the good thing about a medical drama is that you do get new people in all the time, and like we
Right.
were just saying earlier, these characters who were once new now have been around for like 10 seasons or something. So.
right, and also the fact that it's a show that's both serialized and sort of episode of the
Yeah.
illness of the week, and so it's like there's a balance, so you're not always in the characters' faces, so that you can stretch it out a little bit longer.
I've already
Yeah.
accepted that it's going to break ER's record as the longest running medical drama.
Yes.
So
How are you dealing with that?
I,
All right,
I
let's-
made my peace with it. It's okay.
Let's look at one more question. Joey on Facebook asked, will anyone die this coming season?
Yes.
I'm sure.
Patience.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyone major? Could you see them offing like one of the main characters?
I don't
What about Richard Webber? I feel like he's
yeah,
been around
yeah.
for I feel like they've
He's
teased
just,
that
like,
so
there,
many
like,
times.
He's just
I
always
know.
there. I
I'm-
always forget about him.
He's like
I'm
the
sure
patriarch.
I'm
but
sure that someone will die because it's Grey's.
Yeah.
But
right now it's
It
hard
could just
to
be
tell.
someone like tangential. Maybe Penny will die, and then that's
oh yeah, that's true.
Penny will die, and that's
And then
why she comes back
yeah, that'll bring Callie
to
back.
Seattle.
So
All right, well, we'll see what happens. I think that's it for today. Thanks, Liz and Joyce, for being here, and thank you all for joining us. We're here live every weekday at 2 p.m. Eastern. Send us your questions at TV Guide on Twitter, #TVG Live, or at facebook.com/TV Guide. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thanks.